Hey, Pastor Steve Waldron here. Yes, the Premier Collection from Thomas Nelson. You know, we're doing the Premier Study Bible through Thomas Nelson, and I can remember in one of our meetings telling them they need to do a Bible like this, and that we were planning to come to them to do a Bible like this. And then they came out with this Bible. And I think they copied our suggestion. Now, I could be wrong, and I don't want any legal ramifications. Of course I don't. I just want the scriptures to get out there. This is one of the best Bibles you can ever get. There's going to be people that are ditching their Allens, ditching their Cambridge. You can get this from CBD for like $90. You can get it from Evangelical Bible for $96.99. It retails for $149.99. But, you know, when you're paying a couple $100 for an Allen, I'm just going to go ahead and let the cat out of the bag. This is better size than an Allen. And the print, we're going to get into the print. The print is absolutely incredible. It was a proprietary deal. They teamed up with a computer expert in Denmark, a computer company, to get the best print that you can get. This is Thomas Nelson, one of their first forays, I think, into goat skin. When they would come out with those Lifetime Classics and stuff, I think they were either top grain cowhide or calf skin. But man, this thing is thin. Now, I'm going to tell you, those of you that have ordered the Premier Study Bible in Moroccan leather, that special leather, the lady who does procurement at Thomas Nelson told us that the leather on the Premier Study Bible is better than the leather on this particular Premier Collection edition. But they just took so many of our ideas, such as this is Thomas Nelson with art gilt edging. Art gilt edging. That's not published by Youngblood, it's published in China. But no train tracks. I mean, art gilt, multicolored ribbons, and they are some of the best ribbons I have ever seen. Now, the cover doesn't really fold up like, you know, a church Bible publishers, local church Bible publishers. And the spine, the Premier Study Bible is going to have the spine ridges. But look at this. And it doesn't have colored head and tail bands, but it is Smith sewn. I'll show you that. And it does have a generous yap. I'm not even sure I'd call it a semi-yap. But man, now I've got to show you one other thing we're doing for the Premier Study Bible, that this comes with a seal. It's hand wrapped with a seal. Ours is coming hand wrapped with a seal and numbered 1 of 1,000. These are not numbered 1 of 1,000. But look at that, the Premier. So we've named it the Premier Study Bible. So, you know, they say imitation is the highest form of flattery, of compliment. And so if Nelson did copy my idea, I told him about this idea, thank the Lord for it. If it just was purely random, then it was purely random. And man, it comes with an amazing spine stabilization page. Look, I'm not sure if it's leather. It feels like leather. In sheets here. It does have the stitching all the way around about. And look at the spine stabilization page. You don't want to pull this apart. That's one of the best spine stabilization pages I have ever seen. So this thing is going to last you. I mean, and it is supple. It has a little presentation page. Now we're about to get into the print. Now one thing I like is that it has introductions to each book of the Bible. We'll get to that. We'll show you the epistle dedicatory and all the ins and outs. Printed in China, but China's got the newest equipment, according to Thomas Nelson. I have sat at a table with Thomas Nelson, and they have shown me Chinese-made Bibles versus English-made Bibles, and there's no comparison. China has the best equipment. Now, Youngblood's got great equipment, too. And there's a place in Italy and a place in Belarus that does. And I know the Defined Bible was done in Korea. But even like the epistle dedicatory, everything in here is done in the comfort print, which is large print. This is 12-point print. Oh, look at this. We'll let you look. I mean, just even look at the table of contents. Absolutely fantastic. Incredible. Absolutely tremendous. Just, you know, so readable. And so what they did is, using computers, they developed what's the best size print, what's the thickness of the letters, how far the letters should be left to right, right to left, up and down, and then perfecting the lining with the page on the next page to where there's no ghosting. And it's absolutely a beautiful read. So if you're looking for a fine Bible and you thought Church Bible Publishing had the finest, this is going to give Church Bible Publishing, this is going to give Allen a run for its money. And I can't believe the price. I guess it's because I know how much we're paying wholesale for ours, and there's no way they could sell this. But at the same time, it doesn't have the raised book bands and that type thing. And I think we have 4 ribbon markers, and our leather's better, according to Jackie Schmidt, who does this, who is incredible to work with. Her and Stuart Cusson, absolutely amazing. Now this is 2-color. Now, when I'm talking about the print, when I put this print next to my Cambridge large print, and I may do a comparison video on that at some point. The Cambridge large print is still, because of its darkness, easier to read. Now, this may be equal or slightly easier to read than the new Schuyler Canterbury. It is black letter, kind of classic there. Show you the New Testament, black letter, but art gilt edging. I'm seeing that red underneath that gold right now. Oh my, unbelievable. Let's see if it lies flat in Genesis. Only the world's finest Bibles, and even some of them don't, lie flat in Genesis without breaking it in. I haven't broken it. Look at that. Oh, you talking about, you know, all you preachers out there, you're like, yeah, that's it. All right, so let's see if it lies flat in Genesis. I don't think it is, but it may. Oh, lays flat in Genesis. Oh, when you open it, lays flat in Genesis. Unbelievable. Because I've had some Allens and Schuylers and stuff don't lay flat in Genesis. And those ribbon markers, this is the best ribbon markers. That's got to be a Jackie Schmidt thing, because she's got the best feel for that kind of stuff of anybody I've ever seen. Show you like the introduction to the book of Revelation. And the center reference is not overwhelming. And it does have a lot of definitions. It's not very much in the way of just center column reference like you would normally. The only thing I kind of wish they'd have done is, when you do a center column reference like that, you get the A's in the center column reference, the B's, the C's, and it kind of takes away from the reading experience. That's the reason I just use a black letter edition with no references. So it comes with the miracles of Jesus, the parables of Jesus, all of it done in such a beautiful size print. 1-year reading plan, which is very small, and then a KJV concordance. I'll show you that along with the reading plan. And then I'll show you something in the back where Thomas Nelson talks about being caretakers of the King James Version of the Bible. It's kind of neat. I may read it to you. But this is just so good. Just such an excellent, excellent Bible. Has 8 of their great new Thomas Nelson maps, which, now I'm just going to tell you, I've never been a fan of Thomas Nelson maps, and they're still a little behind, but I'm thankful they have updated from the maps they used to have till recently. Because they've just never been map people. I'll let you look here at the back with the, look at that. Not much, you know, it doesn't have like the Allen blank pages and lined pages and all that. But the size of this thing is just fantastic. Gold rimmed. Oh. So, it says here, let's get to it. A note regarding the type. This Bible was set in the Thomas Nelson KJV typeface, commissioned by Thomas Nelson Publishers and designed in Aarhus by Klaus Krok and Heidi Rand Sorensen of 2K Denmark. The design takes inspiration from a distinctive typeface found in the early Thomas Nelson Novum Testamentum, printed in 1844 in Edinburgh. So this was before Tischendorf and all this. A type that in turn reflects several Scotch Roman fonts created by the celebrated English punch cutter Richard Austin for the type foundry of William Miller, circa 1808-1813. The designers of the Thomas Nelson KJV typeface sought to reflect Thomas Nelson's rich 200-year tradition of stewarding the KJV while also embodying the best advancements in modern Bible typography. The result is a distinctive new Bible typeface that is uncompromisingly beautiful, bold, and readable at any size and perfectly suited to the King James Version. I'll show you that, what they wrote. I just thought that was a very nice thing, Thomas Nelson, because they started in 1798 shepherding the King James Version. I know they started the RSV and published that, but good to see them kind of coming back home to their roots, New King James. And between the New King James, which are both Textus Receptus, receive text kind of Bibles, they would still sell a lot of received text Bibles. So it is 9 3/4 tall, which is kind of like the old Thomas Nelson large print. I used to sell so many of those when I sold Bibles at Berean Christian stores. We were in a highly King James area where I was, and a lot of people would buy those instead of your Allens and stuff. They're phenomenal. And you can still find them on eBay. Really good prices, genuine leather. The early 70s in their distinctive gold, shaded gold boxes is really, and into the 80s, Thomas Nelson printed some of the finest Bibles in the world for the price. And some of the quality and some of even their regular reference Bible, not just a large print, unbelievable. And they had the introductions like this Bible does as well. So I think this only comes in black. This might make a fine reading Bible, preaching Bible, teaching Bible. Let's see, and it is about 6 3/4. And let's see how thick it is. It looks like it's about 1.5 inches thick. I'm going to tell you, it don't feel nearly that thick. This is, for the size print, this is an amazingly thin Bible. If we were to compare it with the Allen 62 or 63, it's much smaller. Feels much better in the hand. And, you know, I've got a Skylar. We'll compare that at some point. So the Premier Collection, giant print, center column reference Bible by Tommy Nelson. Well, actually, Tommy Nelson's their children's imprint by Thomas Nelson. Just absolutely exquisite from a classic. You don't have to go to a boutique Bible maker anymore like Schuyler or Allen or TBS or local church or church, but you can get the high quality Bible. I know Crossway's been doing a lot of this in Cambridge. Thank you, Thomas Nelson. Oh man, this salmon red is just calling my name. One of the finest Bibles ever made right there. So God bless, and just all the accoutrements with it, accompaniments, just fantastic. What can I say? Talk with you later. God bless you in Jesus' name.